Presley, welcome to our
Ke go leboga ma ke timela thata gore ke be ke le mongwe wa bokgoni wa bokone bophirima.
You grew up in Mafikeng and now you're one of the best actors in the country. How has that journey been for you thus far?
Out that sentiment because I believe gore I'm the last one to come out of that crop. I still believe that there will be a lot of other people that will come out of bokone bophirima that will be best, I don't know. So but ba ile gore ba tle go dira dilo tse leng gore bangwe ba rona re paletswe go di dira. And we can only do that if we always stretch our hands, we make time to always give them time, to give them the experience tsa rona le bonyane ba kitso rena le yone.
Mabana Arts and Culture Center has produced successful actors, and you're one of them. How did you end up moving to Joburg, and how did you end up getting the big roles?
Yeah, as I grew older, I realized that after the previous regime, which was Pupu Tatswana, that there was no industry, or this is a later analysis when I grew older, or there was no industry that we had in terms of the medium, television and film. But before we used to have it. And then that's how I moved from Bokone Bophirima, going to look for new ideas, going to recreate myself. But I was motivated by a lot of people that came from that institution of Arts Council, the former CEO, Tate Mosetli, that the late Tate Mosetli actually, that motivated us when we didn't even know what we were doing, when it was just an interest. Tate Obrisakabi, that we didn't know what we were doing at that time. From 1996 up until now, I mean, it's a long way. And that's why every time I pass by the Arts Council, the former Arts Council, every time I pass by Mabana, where I used to perform and do plays, sometimes I'm just going to do groceries or Mega Dome. And I get a little bit emotional because I see these young boys that are asking for 2 rands, 1 rand, all these other things. But we didn't have time to do that because our art, our time was invested so much in the art that there was nothing else to do except what we wanted to do, and football, and choirs, and all these other things. And sometimes I just wish to reverse the tape and recreate that environment that we used to have, so that we have stronger people in communities that can help build South Africa to become what it is.
No, I hear you. Last year, Mabana was burned during service delivery protests.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah. I was talking about this even at the SOPA the other day. I don't think I've ever been so emotional, even with my work. Sometimes you're acting on stage and you cry. Sometimes you're acting on television and you cry. But it was most hurtful, most hurtful to know that this institution that taught many of us, not just me, many of us, the little bit that we knew about this industry, it was bent down the way it was. I went there, I took a walk inside, I was alone, and I was not happy. Some of the cars, there used to be this, it was a VR6 or something like that. I remember it took me to an audition when we were doing a show called Orlando in 2000. And we lost the car, Kosantini parking, but no one stole the car. It's just that it was a little bit bigger and we didn't know where we were parked. But those are some of the cars that have memories in my mind that took me to places that I wanted to achieve. And that's how I got so deeply hurt. And then it means that once you do that kind of thing, there's a lot of things that are being destroyed in the time. You're destroying the children's futures with the same I don't know what it is, but sometimes I call it instant gain, because I believe that if you haven't worked for something, you'll never gain something.
Now, going back to you, tell us about your background, your family, your friends, growing up in Mafikeng and your schooling career.
I call it lady Letama. Letama laka salebatlogela some time back. The lady. He's my father. I love him to bits. And He has artistry in his own way. He's actually the one at the sopa who was playing with the stick in front, Captain Chweneyagae. Then my mother, Leah now, she's in the force. Uberaka go fly squad, yes, my lady. She raised me well. And untutile lerato and untutile rata batho ba bang ba leng gore even if they are not part of my family. So it's my sister, it's me, it's my two younger brothers. And then when I come to my own family, it's me, it's my wife, it's my elder son, and my two younger sons.
Just take us through your schooling career. How was it like?
Ke tsamele ka maoto sebaka that one. If ne ke le koloi ka be ke na le mileage o serious. Le ngwanyana na ka se nthate re wena mara a o tsamaile sebaka. So anyway, I used to walk from Kora Mosadi. From Kora Mosadi ko Paula, ne? Then I walked to Letsatsing. From Letsatsing, I walked towards Kansas, which is mega city, Mabana, between the two places. And then in the evening around 6 o'clock, after school and everything, I walk home through the Bate. Keralala motse ke feta Mighty Green. Ke tlola bo Dizobo Road bo di eng ke tsamaya ke boela go Paula on the other side of Sweating. In the next morning, I repeat the same thing. And this thing has really built a lot of courage and consistency in me. And it's things that I never thought in one of these days I'll be sitting in a hotel like this or doing what I do or traveling the world or doing all these other things. But it taught me a lot. Yeah.
Who did you look up to growing up besides your mom and your dad?
I was molded by a lot of people in my career. I remember Oswald Sokupa, Auskomoso nako unasanza berisela last consolation. Maskabi, they started these classes in 1996. They were coming back from Technicon, and I used to be part of that. But most importantly, I used to watch a lot of international films. And I used to read a lot of Shakespeare because you must remember when I went to the first drama class, I had no idea, a word of English. You understand? And then I had to learn through different mediums because I'd met children that have been to multiracial schools. And I had to learn my way as I grew up.
So what are the key things that you would say almost destroyed your career, and what lesson have you learned from that?
There's been a lot. But the biggest thing with me, I've always had discipline. I've always had, it's just forces on the side that kind of disturb me in a way, like if people can remember well, I had this license story that the world was crazy about. And just like any other student who finishes in university or matric, they want to buy a car, and someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I can offer you a license," and I fell into that trap. Okay, and that thing nearly destroyed me. But I learned from that mistake, and I hope other people also learn from that mistake.
So, where do you get support from or
My family.
inspiration
My
when you're
family.
facing challenges? It's your
My family.
And
My
what
family.
about your friends and your fellow actors?
No, there's a lot that we share. I mean, in terms of colleagues. I mean, there are certain things that we've achieved with most of my friends that are work driven. But the biggest, just like any other, like you look at maybe a nature of a dog, if it gets kicked out, whatever, they kick it on the street, whatever, it will always go home. So I think that's where the center is. Yeah.
In 2005,
Yes.
Tsotsi won an Academy Award for the best foreign language film in that category.
Yes.
So since then, you've had ample opportunity to pursue a career in the United States. What has kept you from doing that?
I made a joke the other day and I said, I'm an African. I owe my being to the valleys and I think I'm more African than I can be something else, like in terms of trying to speak in a certain accent to be accepted because of how I sound. So I think that thing in fades. And besides, I was still young, and I wouldn't want to risk a lot of things with confusion. And I'm glad that today I have children that I love, children that love me, and a family that understands me, because I didn't choose to become someone I was not. And besides that, you know, money will always be there, but your existence is more important, and the kind of mark that you'd like to make in your entire life is more important, I think. Yeah.
You have been nominated for a SAFTA in the Best Actor, Best Male Actor, that is, in the telenovela category. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means a lot. And remember when I first saw that I was nominated, I got a bit emotional because in the first investment of these SAFTAs 13 years ago, I won it. No? So now it's like 13 years later, and I'm doing something that a lot of people are enjoying. And besides that, I'm investing, like I'm growing in a different direction. And if it's appreciated, I'll appreciate it. Yeah.
Do you think that the Northwest Provincial Government is doing a good job in nurturing young talent? And if not, what do you think can be improved?
I've met so many people when they start counting the kind of artists, and when be it music, be it a lot of things, and they ask me, "What is it? Is it the water? How is it? What do you guys drink? What is it that makes you guys who you are?" But I tend to think that we've always seen that mobotaking, just like a root ya culture. It's so deep that yana makabo yona, and that's what has happened in Mukwanebo Pirima. And la go ere lo tse dintsi mo Afrika Borwa, just let le Pirima wa ntlhaloganya o Mukwanebo Pirima. And tla ntse re le teng, tla ntse re lebile, tla ntse re participate. And se se botlhokwa ke batla go bona malaiti a mantsi ba ile ba tlo feta di stepe tsa bo Casper, tsa bo Khuli, now, whatever, but I don't think I'm the best of the best. That's what I'm saying. There's more best in them. So they must always believe in their dreams and keep going.
What are the challenges that you believe emerging actors face in the film and television
It's
industry?
It's disappointments and instant gratification. This thing takes a lot of discipline. It takes time. And you won't wake up because the next day and get 10 likes and then you are famous or whatever. And you always need to know, like the biggest challenge is when you know what you're doing it for, then it's a little bit better. Yeah, because when you do something that has to do with art, you must know that it affects other people around you. So it's not something to play with. So sometimes people just play with the gift. And it includes drugs, it includes alcohol, it includes ill discipline, it includes a lot of things. Yeah.
Now you have done a lot of theatre work.
Yes.
And currently you are acting in a telenovela, however, and you're playing the role of Tuso. How different is that role from the rest of the roles that you've played in television?
Well, it's quite different. I mean, I've traveled with theatre, be it with writing or performance. Went to places like Germany, your Belgium, your France, your London, your. But the difference with this character is that I think it found me at the right time, and I wanted to find a way of reinventing myself within what I do, and certain qualities will be like me, and then certain qualities are like other people, like around the community that we grow up around, and then and fortunately it's a telenovela, so if there's a drug problem or there's it's issues that we can always try and portray and show the people how best we could, how art imitates life. Yeah.
You have played the role of Solomon Mahlangu.
No, it was Zenzo Ngobe. It was not me. I was playing Lucky in the play, but I played in the play. Yeah.
Yes, you have played the role of Lucky and a militant prisoner in Mandela's long walk to freedom. What have you learned about our South African history from that?
I mean, people that say you'll never know where you're going until you know where you come from, they didn't lie, because there are certain dynamics. I mean, in the corporate world, people are still arguing about salaries, that certain people are being paid better because the color of the skin and all those other things. So it's becoming so monotonous. That's why it's important that even the younger generation and whatever, they always know that this struggle was not in vain.
What are your future projects and what is your 5-year plan?
My 5-year plan is to marry my wife again.
In the industry, that would be.
I know.
Yes.
But I'm very happy at the river, doing the river. My producers are taking good care of me. And with the company that I have at work, in terms of my peers, I think we're doing magic. And I'll never leave a flower to die, just for that. But I'm looking into producing. And I think with producing, I'll be able to help a lot of the young artists that are coming up. I'll be able to put funding where I want it to be. I'll be able to do ecotourism. I ke batla gore o shootela ko Tontonyane, ra o shootela ko Tontonyane. I ke batla gore o shootela ko Disane, ra o shootela ko Disane. I ke batla gore re go ja nama ya ko industrial site kwa pork shop. That's where we're going to do the party scene at, so that we do the ecotourism thing, so that whoever's coming out of the province knows that there's this place called pork shop. If you go to PH Network, whatever, there's a place there. That's why I can cheer. But these things come with stories, and we need to expand our black business using the art to maximize our successes.
How can your fans get in touch with you? Which platforms would you say?
More Facebook, Late Presley Chweneyagae. More Instagram, Presley Chweneyagae. More Twitter, Presley_.
Presley, it has been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time.